up, beautiful souls? It's Dr. Lee here, and I'm actually super excited to invite you to what for me has been the safest, most consistent, most powerful way to connect with your multi-dimensional self in a safe retreat setting. I'm telling you guys, the ceremonies are getting more and more powerful. People are being liberated. Souls are starting to remember who they are. Families are being healed. And this is one of my greatest joys to offer this to whoever feels called. It's a sacred contract that I call the Heart Protocol. It's a 4 to 6 hour ceremonial experience in a retreat setting where you can connect to your higher self and you can record it into a recording if you decide to speak, and bring back a multi-dimensional soul transcript which can help catalyze you onto a higher timeline, into a higher frequency, and ultimately a higher destiny. For those who feel the call, check out www.transcendencementalhealth.com and click Begin Your Journey to schedule a free 15-minute call to see if you are a good fit for the Heart Protocol. Unite an army of love, create heaven on earth. If you feel the call, would love to see you at an upcoming retreat. Peace.
What's up, beautiful souls? Welcome to another episode of the Spiritual Psychiatrist Podcast. I'm going to go ahead and flow right into it here and set the frequency. Rasha Air Christ Arch. Around each and every single listener now. Avalanches of God's love, joy, abundance, meaningful relationships is pouring and circulating in every single one of our lives. All of our goals, needs, and desires are now being met instantaneously by divine infinite intelligence, for we are one with God, and God is one with all. How deep, how wide, how long is the love of Almighty Living Creator Source. By the love of original eternal Source consciousness view, and I'll sanctify and renew this podcast episode for the liberation of all sentient beings. And we invite in now the frequency of love, joy, power, truth, and grace for the liberation of all sentient beings and a new global paradigm of mental wellness that treats the root cause so our children grow up on a new earth. We give gratitude in advance. Thy kingdom is coming now. That will is now being done in this podcast as it is in the highest heavens. Taish and Tadoe, Taish and Tadoe, Taish and Tadoe, spoken as it is stated now, and so it is done. Rashi Christ Arch on this podcast now. All right, beautiful souls. Salamat sa'yo, aking Panginoong Jesus. That's a shout out to my podcast manager, Mikey's from the Philippines. They've been having a lot of typhoons, so I just wanted to spend 3 months actually out there living near Silang, Cavite as a missionary after high school. So salamat sa'yo means thank you very much. So shout out to Mikey, who does everything on the back end for this podcast. Beautiful souls, I wanted to share today about the 12 original celestial human tribes. You see, the false narrative that human beings are evolved from apes is a false history that was created in 5,500 BC when the ancient Sumerian tablets, I know some people say, are the most ancient records. That is false. So there was a memory wipe, a human DNA memory wipe that happened 5,500 years ago. And in fact, there's been several human DNA wipes. And so if you scramble the DNA of an original celestial human being, right, then they forget, because every DNA strand is a bandwidth of frequency. It's a level of mind. It also stores cellular memory. Okay, so in some of the ceremonies that I facilitate, for example, before Egypt, there was Atlantis. So the Queen of Atlantis just woke up in one of my ceremonies, and we're healing that timeline because it's a DNA strand. And when you get to a certain frequency, there is no time or space. So it's happening simultaneously on a certain dimension. And today, I wanted to delve into the 12 original celestial human tribes, because before there was India, I know a lot of people like to go on pilgrimages to India. Wonderful, amazing, beautiful avatars have come from India, and I'm super grateful. I stand on the shoulders of those who come before me. And I used to chant in Gurumukhi and Sanskrit, all these ancient languages, yeah? But before, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. But before Gurumukhi Sanskrit, right, there was a migration from Egypt. Now, I know a lot of people are going on these Egypt pilgrimages, and, obviously that is target number 4, Giza, and the Great Pyramids were built there. And it's an interdimensional teleport station in and out of Mother Earth. And so Sirius B had a presence there. And so all these ancient, you start seeing like Thoth and all these different things. It was a portal. It's the heart chakra, 4th dimension, represented by the color green, and a stargate, which is a multi-dimensional, a harmonic resonating chamber in and out of Mother Earth. And whoever controls the stargates controls Mother Earth, or the flow of information. And in Saqqara, Egypt, about 5,500 years ago, there was a takeover, and they started to run into this stargate reverse frequencies, which scrambled the human DNA. And the Bible takes this, and combines different stories into the story of the Tower of Babel, the scrambling of language, if you want to call it. And humanity forgot that actually before Egypt, right? And sometimes simultaneously, and before Egypt, there was a migration from Atlantis, and several people are awakening. People are awakening their Atlantis cellular memory. And before Atlantis, right? And so there was a group called the Templar Melchizedeks in Atlantis that took on a patriarchal slant, the need for greed, and they started running experimentation on core of Mother Earth and power, and trying to extract power. And history repeats itself unless we learn from the past. So there was a great explosion and a flood. Nohas Atlantis, Noah. Right? So that's like a lot of these words start making sense once you understand the true history and you start awakening your higher sensory perception, upper stranded DNA scientists used to call junk. You start remembering. We start remembering. So before Atlantis, there was Lemuria and Mount Shasta and Kauai, right? Some of them are still living underneath the earth there, and our Lemurian brothers and sisters, oftentimes, when you start awakening that cellular memory, they will start finding you. And so before Lemuria, there were the 12 original celestial human tribes, and there's been 3 seedings. Humanity did not evolve from apes. That was a false narrative that was created after the blank slate memory technology. They blank slated the memory and created this false narrative, as there were the Anunnakis were doing experimentation, genetic experimentations with humans, combining it with, primate DNA and things like that. But actually before that, there were 3 original seeding of original celestial human beings, and master races and ascended masters came together to create this crowning jewel of all of creation, which was originally intended to embody its 12-stranded DNA, its avatar inner Christos self by the age of 33 and never die. Therefore, Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me shall never die, but shall have eternal life. Death is inorganic. It was not the original intention of Source for humanity to die, right? And so the original eternal life code is base 12. It's mathematics. The universe is mathematical. And so when you look at the Kabbalah, current tree of life, Jewish mysticism, you'll see 10 Sephora, or 10 spheres, 10 dimensions, 10 DNA strands. But actually, no, when you follow that, it's the flower of life sequence, a spiral, a flower of life, which is not bad, but it consumes energy to create energy, therefore runs out of energy, therefore eventually dies and returns to Source through a black hole. Space dust return with no incarnational memory of its existence. It's math, it's science. The original mathematical code, when God made man and woman in his image, her image, was a base 12 eternal life code square rooted 2 source spiral from the 8th chakra, the higher heart, right behind the thymus gland, a direct connection point to source. The energy spirals out every time you breathe the in-breath and out-breath of God, and it always returns to source. And it's always connected to the source of all energy and spiraling. And with every breath, the energy was intended originally to go out and then return. And as it returned, it would spark the fire chambers and Alaria chambers, and would spark not the 121 elements that current science talks about that we learn in general chemistry, but it was 12 times 12, 144 elements. Eternal life elements would spark and continuously be replenished, going to source and back into source, and breathing in breath and out breath of God, continuously connected to source through the 8th chakra, thymus gland, direct connection point as a ray, and continuously replenishing its eternal life elementals in complete elemental eternal life balance. This is the same wisdom that the J9 level avatar written about in the Bible was learning from J12 in Egypt. The mystery schools, and these mystery schools are slowly being revived and remembered, because whenever humanity forgets, the Melchizedek cloister Emerald Order, Hebrews chapter 11, Jesus and the priest in the order of Melchizedek forever, in the alchemist, in the very beginning, before the guy goes on the pilgrimage, the guy, is who the shepherd, if you want to call it, was a Melchizedek. But there's a lot of different orders of Melchizedek. The original OG, original spiritual gangsters who helped create this time matrix is the Melchizedek cloister Emerald Order. And they send in 3 speakers to remind humanity that you are who you've been looking for, that the intron potential DNA scientists used to call junk is not junk, it's potential. The language of how to activate the intron potential DNA is sound. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Sound, light, and symbols. And symbols is sound and light dancing. But scientists were only looking at what they could see. It's what we do not see, metaphysics, thoughts, words, attitudes, beliefs, sound, light, frequency, which Tesla understood very intimately. That is the language how to activate our potential intron DNA. And so the 12 original celestial human tribes, way before Gurumukhi, Sanskrit, Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, there was a 3rd seeding. And from my awareness and understanding, this is the final seeding. Final end conflict drama. Call your mamas. The harvest is ripe. The workers are few. Who will go? But yeah, and so if you want to know why a table was created and why, there's certain curves to it and linear geometry to it, and why certain colors and certain finishings, you ask the person who created, well, the original eternal life founders races, Elohai, Seraphai, Braharama, they spoke a language, and which that language was key coded to start activating the 12-strand DNA potential. And this language, that what is called Anuhazimua. And when I started chanting in this language, it started to activate rapid self-realization, not 10 old school Kabbalah Jewish mysticism, 12, at least 12 to 48 strands of DNA potential, which is key coded to this language, which helps activate rapidly not only self-realization, but self-actualization of the inner Christos, because you are who you've been looking for. The inner Christos is within, and it lies within the 10th, 11th, 12th stranded DNA. The 10th DNA strand is the Christic mind. The 11th DNA strand is the Buddhic mind. The 12th DNA strand is the avatar inner Christos self. And so, I've had people come to my ceremonies where, they have a beautiful, amazing, powerful, connected ceremony, the heart protocol, a safe, consistent, powerful way to reconnect and remember who you are, and to remember that we are all one. What you have done unto the least of them, you have done it to me, to connect with your superconscious mind, your 4th, 5th, and 6th stranded DNA, what Freud called your superconscious mind, which stores your purpose. You have a purpose. your seventh, eighth, ninth strand of DNA, which is your oversoul. Yeshua came from the Sananda oversoul family. I am divine, one soul. Oversoul becomes 12 souls. One soul becomes 12 through electromagnetic fission on different timelines. 12 times 12 is 144. It's math. It's a mathematical code, the eternal life code, base 12.
What's up, beautiful souls? I want to shout out to the sponsor of this podcast, Practical Peptides, www.practicalpeptides.com. Unless you're living under a rock, you might have heard that there is this thing called peptides, the magic of peptides. And so they're amino acid chain proteins, which help signal to the body, which can start activating like a light switch, different systems in your body. And we're having amazing results. Now, you may have heard there's positive and negatives to everything, but there's certain people who are having certain side effects. And what our team has found is it's because most doctors are prescribing too large of a dose. But when you dose and you titrate up at the right dose, we're finding that people are having really positive effects. So some of our best sellers include GLP-1 agonists like tirzepatide, like semaglutide, and people at the right dose, when they use the right small dose and they're titrating up, they're literally not only losing approximately 15% of their body weight over time, they're increasing their self-esteem. It's helping people reverse their diabetes, blood sugar. And the cool news is that you can schedule a call with Danielle, who's a peptide expert on our team, who can help decide if it's right for you, also what the right dose is. And the cool thing about Practical Peptides is our team has spent so much time and love and energy. So it's really easy. You just go to practicalpeptides.com, you search for the product that's right for you. One of my favorites is NAD, intramuscular NAD. If you guys don't know, NAD is reversing brain inflammation, helping the gut heal. And not only that, for me, it gives me clean energy every morning when I take it. So NAD is on there from a pure. And the cool thing about Practical Peptides is it's straight from the pharmacy. It's compound grade pharmacy, pure material. And you can order it directly online. And it's delivered straight to your house. And you're getting everything that you need. Is included in the package, so you can start using it straight out of the box. And we give you educational materials. So some of these peptide companies that are research-based, you don't know what's in the product. They're not giving you the educational material. We're giving you you don't have to mix it and compound. It's right there. And so if that's something that appeals to you, check out www.practicalpeptides.com. Use the code Dr. Lee. For 10% off. There's peptides that can help you get ripped and shredded. There's peptides that can help you repair your body from injury. So check it out, www.practicalpeptides.com.
The 12 original celestial human tribes. The 12 biblical tribes are, if you want to say, imitation off of the 12 original celestial human tribes. And they were seated on different locations around at that time, which was 5D Tara, 5D Earth. And each tribe, was put in charge as protectorates of the stargates, 12 stargates, portals in and out of Mother Earth. And each tribe had a Magi Grail king. King Arthur, Magi Grail king, tribe 11. And so as one starts to activate their 12-stranded DNA, they start remembering. It's a cellular memory. And once you know, you cannot not know. In a recent ceremony, these things that I'm talking about, they're not just from the CDT plates or, record books or books that I've written, Oceana D and Voyages 1, 2. They're happening in my ceremonies. They're happening in my hologram. After a recent ceremony here in Austin, Texas, a dear high priestess sister texted me, "Damn, hey, listen, tribe number 11 kept coming. She didn't even know what that is. Tribe number 11 kept coming in super strong. What are the celestial tribe 11? And so what you have to understand is time is simultaneous. When one soul comes in, it comes in on different timelines. And so the Christ timeline, people are popping out of their ceremony. They're having memory, cellular memory, as they activate their DNA strand of their time on the Christ timeline. And Yeshua's mission, yes, part of it, the 12 apostles, the superconscious mind, one, the 12 has a soul purpose. The individual has a purpose, and Yeshua had a mission. And partially was completed, and Arthur came down to help secure Stargate number 11 and Stargate number 4, because whoever controls the Stargates, the land, controls the flow of information coming in and out of Mother Earth. And the 12 original celestial human tribes were seated on different locations around 5D Tara, which eventually fell to 3D Earth. But these Stargates, now spread around the world, are still there, and the morphogenetic field, or the blueprint, is still there. But it needs to be activated, the blueprint, the morphogenetic field on which matter condenses, right? And so this particular lifetime is a continuation of those missions to secure the Stargates and to, according to the original intention of Source, to reunite the 12 original celestial human tribes. So there might be times when you start activating your higher sensory perception, activating your soul, your oversoul, where you get a download. I need to go to Bali, or I need to go to, Lake Titicaca. There's specific codes in past lives that we can pick up and also activate Mother Earth. Because you are a code. You are a source code. You carry codes on your past lives. And it's in the DNA. Your DNA projects your hologram. And so the more eternal life grid workers start popping up, the more we start remembering who we are, the more Mother Earth starts remembering who we are. And, there is a vision where, as the DNA strands accrete, which you can do through the Rapid 12-Strand DNA Activation Program, which is on my online community school. And I'm telling you, we're seeing things rapid because it's all connected. When you start activating your 12-strand DNA from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's all connected, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual body, right? So your D3 mental body starts integrating slowly, naturally, gradually. Your D2 emotional body starts to rebalance. Your physical, your physical elemental body starts to rebalance, and silent exorcisms start happening. I'm getting these messages, and all they're doing is chanting in this language, restoring what was originally already there, the morphogenetic field for the 12-stranded DNA, the intron potential DNA scientists used to call junk. And eventually you start activating your upper stranded DNA, and you'll start remembering what tribe you come from, as did this high priestess sister in Austin in a ceremony recently. And the codes that you have, you can share. And ascension is a science. The same way we came down, one soul becomes 12 on different timelines, you have to reintegrate these 12 aspects of yourself. And when you do that, you'll go into your soul mission. It's a group mission, just like Arthur and the Knights, just like Yeshua. I don't like the word disciples because that's a distorted word. Because you are who you've been looking for. And so one of my intentions and missions is for the 12 original celestial human tribes to reunite, as was the original intention of Source. And so a lot of us are seeing these massive healing centers all around the world on specific grid points. And everybody will, as they start activating their soul over soul, will understand which tribe they come from in perfect time, just like a bird knows exactly how to migrate in what season, because they're following the electromagnetic grid lines of Mother Earth. And as these false timelines, AI timelines, start falling apart, and as we start to recode the brain of Mother Earth, the ley lines of Mother Earth into her original kind of coding, and, these reverse frequencies from, different timelines and different things, such as when, 5,500 years ago, when they took over Egypt and they started running reverse currents, and from Stonehenge, Stargate 11, where they were running certain different types of frequencies, we start reversing these things and we start coming back into the original timeline, the organic ascension timeline. And we start activating our soul over souls in the 144,000, start to remember who they are. You a shooting star. Your soul comes from afar, fought in the round wall, but don't want to fight no more. There are no enemies. What you fight, you become. What you judge becomes a shadow. And so you come into the light, and we start focusing on the solution. Healing centers all around the world interconnected like a mycelial network in a decentralized platform with a flow of abundance. And as these grids start activating, every single person carries a code which is needed for the shield of that tribe. And we are being guided and we are protected, and this mission is protected. Then as people start activating, they'll start to remember who they are, and they will be led, just like a bird is led to the electromagnetic lights. They're key coded for certain stargates, and the original celestial human tribe starts to reunite and think unlimited abundance, beautiful, magnificent, amazing, fresh living water, healing centers, living in tribe. We were meant to live in tribe with Jedi academies and aunties and knuckles. And yeah, we'll also have reach out, but they will all be interconnected as well as a bunch of different small healing centers, all somehow interconnected like an underground mycelial network. And I've been to Davos. There's something called, when they're doing the World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab is intending to do what they're doing for 2031 World Order, there's a separate event going on, which is called Undavos, where a lot of the world's light workers are gathering together right down the street. And these are change makers. These are people who have projects, who are actually doing something, decentralized financial people, decentralized crypto people, people who are, really doing things to create this new earth. And so the original celestial human being is key coded for at least 12-stranded DNA. And the language of this DNA is sound, light, and frequency. So early morning sun gazing light. But there's different types of light too, right? There's holographic inserts, which are not real eternal living Shalea light, right? So as you tilt your head 60 degrees and the early morning sun comes in, you start breathing it into your third eye. If your eye is full of light, your whole body will have sight. The pineal and pituitary gland come online. And literally, if your third eye is full of light and you decalcify your pineal gland, you'll start to have true sight. But everything will come into the light, and you are the light of the world, and your light body will start activating. You'll start to see the false evidence appearing real through fear, and everybody's higher self will come online. They will have a choice to oscillate into new earth systems that are based on abundance, transparency, respect, unity, where everybody gets to do what they love with who they love, according to the original intention of Source. Where Earth was a playground, a beautiful, legendary playground of the gods. Shout out to my brother, Gerald, where our children get to come and play and create and experience Source, God making love of God, sacred energy exchange in systems that are set up in ways that are decentralized and fair. And in those people who choose to oscillate into continued density, a mathematical system that consumes energy to create energy will eventually return to Source running out of energy. Still Source, still sacred, still space dust, with no incarnational memory of its existence. So may the 12 original celestial human tribes reunite. And if this is resonating with you, there's so many beautiful, amazing technologies. I invite you to join my online community, where I have the rapid 12-strand DNA program, 12 sacred songs with readings to remember and re-encrypt the eternal life wisdom, the same wisdom Joshua 9th level avatar was learning in Egypt. It's right there. That's right. We're organizing it 12 weeks at a time, and people who are actually doing the practice, the testimonials that I'm receiving are profoundly catalyzed. It's amazing. They're catalyzing the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual path in their timelines and re-encrypting and regaining what was originally there, activating the morphin fields of the 12-stranded DNA. And then, for those people who don't believe or who are curious or who need to heal 40 years of trauma in 4 hours potentially, not for everybody, right? It's a choice that everybody has. We have protocols that you can experience your multidimensional self. I mean, I've had, grandfathers who went to church for 77 years. Every week going to church, come out of 1 4-hour ceremony and say, for the first time, Dr. Lee, I actually felt the love of God. Oneness. And so did Jesus. And that's why he said, what you have done to the least of me, what you have done to me. And when everybody, on the planet, including the world's leaders, are able to feel this frequency and remember the truth and reinterpret the truth through the heart protocol or through whatever modality that you choose. The heart protocol is a safe, powerful, consistent, in 5 years, not one person that's gone dark, multi-dimensional experience of direct connection to your soul over soul avatar, inner Christos self, that is here to help optimize and create a new global paradigm of mental health, and catalyze a new earth, a sacred sacrament. And it's a joy to serve it to whoever feels called. Yeah, so may the 12 original celestial human tribes reunite. We walk by faith, not by sight. Go ahead now, shine your light. You are the light of the world. Love, light, peace, and truth to all sentient beings. Peace.